Hi, Olisoy. Hi.
Hi, Sam. Good morning to you.
Good
yes,
morning.
always good to have you on Breakfast Central. It's been a packed weekend in terms of the entertainment world. But tell us what's the latest, even from the continent of Africa, first of all.
All right, so let me even start, because I know that we had a conversation earlier about the 93rd Oscars that happened over the weekend, in fact, yesterday. And that's interesting because, first off, Kaluuya won an award, of course, for Best Supporting Actor. Now, this is interesting because Daniel is British, but in fact, he was born to Ugandan parents. So this is incredible because this is not the first time he's winning. You know, he won an Oscars, he's won a BAFTA awards, he's won all in the space of 1 year. He's won 4 awards, and the entire, Twitter, Instagram is celebrating him for his hard work. Now, in fact, it's also very, very critical for the Oscars because this happens to be a time where a couple of people have won firsts. Now, in fact, I'm going to tell you that the first Korean actor to win a Best Supporting Actress happened this year, which is interesting, which is incredible for the entire world. And also, the first Best Makeup and Hairstyling category was also happened this year. If you've seen Viola David's Ma, that of course won. And see Daniel there. Daniel just, in fact, his speech, his 30-second speech was so funny. His mom and sister were there all the way from, they came all the way from Uganda. And it was beautiful to see and watch how they just loved. And of course, Badlands, No Man's Land, I beg your pardon, was also a big winner. He won like 3 different awards at the Oscars. And I'm just excited to see that, Oh, and finally, South Africa was also there. South Africa won for Best Documentary. And this was emotional for a lot of people because of the storyline of the documentary. And I think it's just a beautiful time to be Black, to be African. Now, let me move on, of course, to Nigerian and another conversation around the world in entertainment. So now the Ikorodu Bois are being celebrated by Netflix. Now, this is interesting because this is not the first time we've seen them being acknowledged. In fact, while the boys reached over 1 million followers on Instagram, well, Muiz Malik and Babatunde Sani and their cousin Fawaz, who were just 15, 10, and 13, have gained attention from all across the world. In fact, Hollywood directors like to actors like Will Smith, to musicians. And now what happens is we've seen a bit of a documentary. It seems like a documentary focused on the boys by Netflix, but we're not sure yet. They haven't given a lot of information except a 30-second video that I'm about to play right now.
Ikorodu Bois is coming true.
Ever since I was a kid, I started to develop love for movies. My siblings, we come together and we reenact movie trailers.
Who was that guy?
That brother was the best damn soldier that ever lived.
We are a big fan of movies.
We watch too many movies together. Action, adventure. This is what we love.
All right, now I think we love them, we appreciate them. In fact, they were nominated for the last Nickelodeon Awards. Even though Emanuela won that award, it's just good to see that young people can do so much with social media, and it's completely inspiring. Now let's move to South Africa, where AKA has finally broken silence on the death of his fiance after 15 days. Now, of course, first information we got out was from the female's family, from her family, Annalie. And her family came out to say, that they want time to grieve in the time. And she was a 22-year-old, and she, jumped from the 10th floor of Pepper Club Hotel in Cape Town. And while it was sad, the entire social media was, sad about it and expressing their love. Well, we took some time to, of course, learn a little backstory about them. In fact, the couple met as of January last year. And maybe they didn't meet that time, but that's when it became public knowledge because paparazzis caught them, being intimate at a restaurant. But, her dad did come out to say that even though people had said she was suicidal, that, it was as a result of alcohol abuse and drug abuse as well. So AKA finally came out and he said that, he's sad. He brought out a statement and said, "I have lost the love of my life, and every day feels like a mountain to climb. And to be honest, I can't imagine what he's going through, as the love of his life. But, our love and heart go out to the family." All right, so now finally I have an update on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Now, of course, over a month ago, we've been talking about this. I've personally been following up because our dearest, Fela Kuti, happens to be one of the nominees, let me say, for the induction for this year. Now, while it celebrates, different artists from across the globe who focus on rock and roll, in their own expression. Well, people have been voting. It's free to vote. All you need to do is go to their website and vote. And it's interesting to know that in a couple of days, right, or in a couple of months, Fela has been leading, the votes, but currently he no longer leads the vote, as Tina Turner happens to be leading now. So all you need to do, to make sure that he's one of the inductees for this year, because he deserves it. He's still accredited for the Afrobeat sound that is celebrated all across the continent, all across the globe at this point in time. So if you're a Fela fan out there and you love Afrobeats, okay, you should go to their website. All you need to do is type, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and vote for him. Right, so it's incredible, even though there are other names, like Jay-Z, LL Cool J, Mary J. Blige, and other people part of the nominee. I just think that, we're focused on Fela, and because I'm proudly African, so.
All right, thank you very much, Sam, for the latest in the world of entertainment. Sad one for AKA, but also big news in terms of this Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and the Oscars. Daniel Kaluuya winning that one. At least Africa First, also represented in the Oscars. Thank you very much once again, Sam.